I'm doing great. I'm your host, Kedan Belay.
I'm Ethan Belay.
And today we are talking about, do men become more valuable the older they get, and do women become less valuable the older they get? What are your thoughts on that?
Put me on the spot. Oh my God.
I have my opinion.
It depends. Let me answer first.
Okay.
So to answer your question, big homie, realistically though, like, it depends really, because you can have somebody that like that really matters on how much a guy makes. I hate to say it, but it is like that. The older you get, typically men make more when they as they get older.
So if you get older and you don't make more, you don't become more valuable.
If you ain't making no money, bruh, and you an old dude, like.
So wouldn't that be the same for anybody?
Not necessarily. You have things that cause you to become more attractive, even as you age, and you have things that make you less attractive. In the dating market, unfortunately, money is a thing when it comes to guys, as far as dating caliber or spectrum, or where you fit on that totem pole. So for women who preserve beauty tend to have more value, or women that tend to have, like, in the dating market alone. We're only talking about the dating market. So we're not talking about when it comes to family or how much you contribute to society as a male or a woman.
Right.
But in the dating market, physically, as you age, you do become, I would say, you would kind of get knocked down on the totem pole because...
For women?
Yes, for women, because their rating level their value is based off of personality. Physical attraction is a huge one. As much as we like to think we're not shallow, it just is what it is.
No, I agree. To be honest, if I didn't find you attractive at first, I probably wouldn't have spoke to you. Because there are times where I have talked to people in my past that I didn't find attractive, but our first encounter, when I first seen the person, I wasn't like, oh, I want to talk to you. I was like, oh, you're in the same room, we're having a conversation. Oh, and the more I got to have a conversation with you, the more I was like, okay, like, you're kind of cool, you know, like. And then if you were to ask me out, not talking about you in particular, but the person, if they were to ask me out, then I would consider it. But when I met you, me and you weren't in the same room. We met at Family Dollar. So you were working there, and we met at 19. We were at Family Dollar, and at first I was like, oh, he's attractive. You know what I mean? So because I thought you were attractive, if I didn't think you were attractive at first, I put in them. And I know being attractive is subjective to whoever. Because what you find attractive, what I find attractive is completely different. Yeah, and what other people find attractive is completely different. But what I find attractive was what I seen for you, which is why I was like, okay, I made myself available to you because I kept going back to the store. You know what I mean? I made it known, like, okay, we don't talk the first time. Let me go back, see if he's there. And then I would have probably engaged in the conversation a little longer and kind of went off of you. Right. I don't know if I would have ever, like, asked you out in particular, but I would have at least went back there a couple times to see, like, okay, is he going to talk to me now that you've seen a familiar face? And if you didn't talk to me, then I probably would have just stopped going there, or just went there when I needed something. And
but if I was 40
at Family Dollar,
yeah, would you have found me as attractive?
Well, first, I guess I would say, I think it would just depend on you, because I can't say no because I don't know you're 40. Like, you could have been 40 then.
I could have been, but if I would have, like, I would have invited you out.
So, like, so I find you attractive, no matter what age you are.
Yeah.
I find you attractive, and then when we start talking, I find out that you're 40 and you're working at Family Dollar.
Yeah.
Does that make you less attractive? Yeah. Is that the question?
Yeah. Your face.
I would say yes. The only reason I would say yes is because, like, where I am, if I go off of my age, at the time when we met, I was 19. So if I'm 19 and I'm talking to someone that's 40 and he's working at Family Dollar, to be honest, I know everyone hits a hard time. I would have to hear his story out. You know what I mean? But if, like,
I would
have to hear his story. Because, so, for example, say he worked
at... You're a minority.
No, but listen, though. This is the picture. Because, like, we have to also be realistic in times. We just went through COVID. There's a lot of people that were in nursing. Like, people go to school to become a nurse or anywhere in the medical field. I know at least I started in the medical field because I was like, you know what? I'll always have a job. But I know a few friends that they actually lost their job and they were nurses and in the medical field during COVID. So that just shows no matter what job you have, you're not protected. So because of that, if he say he had a business or he had something going for himself and he just knocked hard times, but to keep paying and making ends meet, he would decide to work at Family Dollar, but on his alone time, he was still doing this and that, then I would probably consider it. But if he's like, oh, you just got promoted to a manager and that's the highest you've ever been at 40, I would probably not talk to him. Does that make sense? Because everyone hits hard times. Like I'm 30 now, and I hit a hard time at 29. So with that case, if someone was to judge me off of where I was then versus what I just came from, like, it just depends on how long you stay where you're at and what your goals are.
Unfortunately, dating is a very shallow place. So it's not shallow. It doesn't stop being shallow until you find somebody that is worth going a little deeper for.
Right.
But in a perfect world, I feel like that will work. But like honestly, even speaking from a male perspective, that's why most guys
in that case, you wouldn't.
I mean, if I was dating off of the same parameters of what women date off of, then no, I'll probably pass them up.
So if you were 19 and you met a 40-year-old lady at Family Dollar?
Well, I don't judge a woman. Like, I'm not interested
off of her
in
finances.
Yeah, I'm not interested in a woman. That's why I said if I was a woman dating off of like women's parameters of what they like typically like find attractive, which understandably so. It's all wired into our biology. As much as we like to think we're intellectual beings, we're all animals. We all have an animalistic side to us. So realistically, hypergamy is a means of survival. So I mean, like going into it now, like I wouldn't give a guy time if he's maybe 40, 50 working at, like you
give
said,
a guy time?
Yeah, if I was a woman dating, like I wouldn't. And then like like dating a woman, so on the flip side of that, like,
so now where you are in your age now, would you date, you don't really go off of finances. So for you, if you find a woman attractive, it doesn't really matter what her bank account looks like. It's just now, can she be, so how about this also, if you find a woman attractive, you meet her and you find out that she doesn't have any ambition and goals and she's just like okay with where she's at in life, is that like a turnoff for you, or could you work with that?
I guess I would say it would depend. As far as, because the conversation like will tell it all and your actions will tell it all. And if all she wants to do is lay up, drink, and smoke all day, as a relation for
and go to work,
wife,
she'll go to work.
Yeah. So if she's going, like, I don't really.
Or even if she don't go work, say you're like, oh, I want to pay all the bills. You don't have to work.
If I see that her lifestyle is keeping her where she's at in life, and you can just tell, like, I don't really. I like women that have goals and ambitions, but it's not a like
requirement.
No, because I have visions, goals, and ambitions, and to be honest with you, like, it makes it easier when I have somebody that's next to me that.
But what if she's not? Vision. Is what I'm saying.
Yeah, if she
like, what if she's like, that's your vision.
Like, for example,
I'm gonna sit here and do me.
Right. So, for example, 50. Like, if she don't even believe in my visions, and like,
oh, she believes in it.
No, but she could say she believes in it. You know, when a woman that believes in your vision,
but she doesn't have any interest in acting and helping you build it.
Oh, listen. She don't. That means she doesn't have.
But she believes you'll succeed.
You're not letting me talk.
All right, go ahead.
You gotta let me finish.
All
so
right,
essentially, like, if she's not able to put in effort behind my visions, that she don't believe in it. Because a woman that's truly invested in you and she believes in your vision, she's like, all right, babe, you got another show coming up, or hey, you about to start a clothing brand? Okay, well, give me some mock-ups, let me model in it, or let me give it to my friends. Let me.
So you'll say she'll make the initiative.
Yeah, if I had a venue or an event or something, she's gonna be there helping, working, and like adding value to it. That's what men typically look for. Is like. So for a woman to not, like, if a woman was like, I really don't know what I want to do, I just know that I have a calling, I know that I have a calling as well. So if she doesn't have a vision, then let me find the way so I can show us the way. Like, you know
so
what I mean?
If she doesn't have a vision, you already have a vision. You would expect her to kind of
if she loves
help
me
you with your vision, or
it's not even a form of entitlement of where I'm coming from. But realistically, I know how women love, and when women love, they will, like, when you see a woman like really, really in love, she will get behind it. Like, she will put in the work. She'll actually be like, she'll be coming up with ideas and help coming up with ideas of like, even with you, like you come up with ideas all the time. Like if I be like, yeah, I really want to do this project, like you'll listen to me and then come back to me later. Oh, I was thinking about what you was talking about earlier, and what if we tried it this
But what
way?
if someone just doesn't have interest in it? What? Because like for me personally, I think that's a skill of mine. I think I actually have the skill to execute and bring someone's vision. Like for example, if you have a vision, I can bring it to life. I think that's actually, because not everyone can do that. So that's a particular skill that I bring. But if it's a woman that's not her skill, can you be mad if she's not like coming up with ideas?
That's fine. But if like you can, like, again, a woman will show if she's truly interested in you and she sees you, even if she sees you as the vision, like she's not using you per se, but like she knows that I'm out and I'm grinding, I'm going to different places, meetings and all of that, and she's doing everything she can to make my life easier on what she knows best. That's good enough for me.
I see. Okay.
If she's like always nagging, like, well, why you got to go to another studio session, or are you doing another podcast, like you want to go film another one, or like, damn,
just making it harder and giving you a hard time when she sees what you're trying to do.
Exactly. And I can typically pick that because I've dated a lot of toxic women. So
now, does that come with age though? So I guess to answer the question, do you still believe? So you do believe women become less valuable the older they get?
Well, we all become set in our way the older we get. As much as we like to believe it or not, you know, we all try to stay with that childlike energy where it's not much, like, as if we haven't already been influenced, so we want to have an open mind. But at the end of the day, we all have our preferences and things that way. But my cousin, she actually told me this the most. She was like, women tend to be more malleable than men. And typically men or women a woman, if she truly like is invested into a man, she will mold herself to fit to him in a way.
Do you think with age women become less malleable?
Everybody does.
Everyone because they're stuck in their ways, which I guess
it's
it goes where it's like
you think a man might be.
People like to train students and younger people because they know they're more willing to listen and apply versus someone that's older. They're like, no, I'm older than you. I've been doing this for a while.
Yeah, they have less influence. Like even the women in my family, like when we have conversations and certain things that I may not agree on, like I'm not there to try to beat my ideas into somebody. So like it's certain topics that I won't even have, or conversations or debates that I won't even have with women that in my own family that are older than me. Not because I'm afraid of them or they gonna check me or do something crazy.
It's just don't have the brain capacity.
I don't have not the brain capacity. I don't have the energy to be going toe to toe with you. Well, yeah,
that's what I meant. The mental capacity.
Yeah. So, but again, not all older women are this way. But I will say this. Again, for men, it's when I hate to say it, but it's personality and beauty what men typically go off of. Now that can switch because, like, what my type is, I may not always find attractive because she can be exactly what I like, and you know I find her drop dead gorgeous, but her personality is like she's gonna be hard to work with, like. She gonna be, because sometimes we have to have some hard conversations and stressful conversations just because we're experiencing life together, and because we become one. Your stress is now my stress, and my stress is now your stress. Like, and we do pretty good at mitigating that because because we understand typically our stress doesn't come from each other; it comes from external factors. Yeah. So.
Or environments and what we're being put in.
But typically, if a man is looking like, all right, this is gonna be my wife. If he's really focused on his future, it's gonna be based off of maybe possibly having children, having a house. Can I bring you around my family? Like my family all have strong personalities, so like I don't want you to be weak around them, but can you stand your own without making it a issue? You know what I'm saying? Because you really don't you don't fall out with nobody. So if somebody got a problem with you, typically it's them. But you will also stand your ground on the situation. Like, and I told you that in the beginning. But when you, even as a man, like the older men tend to get, like, unless they've had some crazy psychedelic awakening, we tend to be more hard-headed and less malleable and less coachable. So if we're in a relationship and you already have a woman that's been through the dating experiences, and we're not even talking about guys that she's always had sex with, but let's say she went on a dinner with a guy and he done said something sideways to her that made her uncomfortable or made her really that's going to be a memory that's going to go in her brain, and that's going to be another thing she's looking out for. Or so that's going to cause her to be a little bit more, I would say, not as free spirited. Because even me, like if let's say if I was a professional drink taster, like older taste buds, I'm gonna enjoy certain taste buds better. So I may rate this wine just because based off of the negative experiences I've had with another wine, and I really like this flavor and this hones in on it. So it's really less about if it's better or not. It's like if it fits to my taste or not.
Right. And I think for me, I think the key word in there that I didn't agree with was valuable. I don't think women become less valuable, but I do understand the logic of older men wanting to date down.
Well,
and I do
you don't
understand
like the word
sometimes
valuable, but
yeah,
we're
'cause if you
talking
look
about
up,
in the dating market
right.
alone. We're not talking about how
I don't think
great
women
of a
become
business
less
owner.
valuable though.
In the dating market, you do.
No, let
Yes,
me
you do.
look at
And
the word
men do.
valuable.
If I'm 50 years old and I'm at
But
least,
they said more become the
bro,
topic.
if I'm 50 years old, I ain't got a house
what
and
we're
a
talking
car,
about.
I'm less valuable in the
That's
dating
what I'm
market.
saying. So that debunks what we're talking about. So
No,
when
it
you get
doesn't.
older, there's a possibility you can get older and not be. There's a possibility a man can get older and not become valuable. Just like a woman can get older and
So I have
become
a
valuable.
question.
So it's the word valuable that I have a
So
problem
when
with.
we were walking,
I'm gonna look at the
hear me out.
definition.
So when we were walking to the car,
Yes.
the older guy that has a little cute dog.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think he would be more valuable or less valuable in the dating market?
He's less, and he's older than us.
I'm talking about for his age. He's probably like 40 or 50.
Right.
So you said that he would probably listen, his value would be worth less in the dating market.
I think so.
Right, okay. Without completely trashing on him,
that's
why
just
do
me
you
going
think
off
that
of
is?
attraction, though.
Why do you think that is?
That's just me going off attraction. I don't know him.
Okay,
I don't know what his account looks like. I don't know any of that.
Yeah, right. But typically, you would probably be able to kind of guess around a broad figure.
Valuable just says worth a great deal of money. That's all I got for the definition.
I'm gonna be honest with you. Unfortunately, we all don't like getting older because we know we become less valuable.
So I think
and I'm speaking as
both.
a human race as yeah, of course.
So I think men and women become less valuable.
But men tend to become more attractive to women as they get older and as they become more established. That does make them more attractive.
That doesn't mean older though. It's just more established. Now there's a 19-year-old that could be established.
You gotta understand,
and he could be just as valuable as a 40-year-old.
Has nothing to do with it. It has nothing to do with it. He's like, that's great for him. But what I'm stating is, for a guy that is 40 or 50, he's still in shape. They call him, what they call him? There's a name for him. But they're pretty much older guys. They got hella swag. They vibe. They take care of themselves, and they financially on a good note. They're gonna be able to pull women that are in their age bracket and younger.
I get
for
that.
For a woman, it's not as many young guys showing up saying, "Hey,
but
I want you to be my wife."
If they're attractive and they have they're attractive, they already know what career they want. They already started. Like say they're in real estate and they already got a real estate portfolio. As we know, at this day and age, it really just depends on your environment and what you were taught at an early age. We know a lot of 19-year-olds, if not younger. But we'll start with 19 just because we're talking about 19. Hold on, let me finish. We're talking about 19 just because we're talking about dating. So we're going to start with 19. So there still could be someone that's 19 that still, is making 100K to $1 million, whatever the number is. I don't want to get wrapped up on the number, but that they're doing really good for themselves. Because what is successful to a lot of people, there are some women that they're like, look, if you could provide the house, the car, make sure our kids don't struggle and we're not struggling, it doesn't matter if you're making 80,000 or $1 million. There are some women that are okay with that. So I don't want people to get wrapped up on the number. Because a lot of people get wrapped. A lot of people get wrapped up. Let me finish. A lot of people get wrapped up on the number. But what I'm saying is that it doesn't make somebody more valuable. Because if there's a woman
in the dating market, it does.
Listen,
you just don't like how the word valuable makes. Listen, you don't like how the word valuable makes you feel.
Listen, because there could be a woman that the older she gets, the more knowledge she has, more experience she has. If there's women now that are getting older, and because women are starting to take care of their body more, what a typical 50 or 40-year-old used to look.
To marry you, they don't care
that's
about
what I'm saying. No. Because what you're saying is that there might be someone that's like a little That you might, a 20-year-old could be more attractive than a 40-year-old, but it also depends on how the 40-year-old is taking care of themselves. You see what I mean? So if you have two people that's taking care of themselves.
If I'm looking for a wife, bro, and I'm not looking.
We're not taking away out of the wife.
We're
not talking about wife. We're just talking about valuable.
Again, we're talking about the dating market, being valuable in the dating market. You're taking the word valuable and like, no, we're all valuable. Like, bro.
Yeah, the older we get, we all become more valuable.
I get
Some
that.
of us. Well, can't say that either.
In the dating market, you become less valuable if you don't meet certain criteria. However, for men, they're typically looking for very similar criteria, which makes older women less valuable in the dating market alone.
Why? They're looking for someone that can reproduce?
That is a big part of it.
Is that it?
Even the way, that's a big part of it.
Okay.
That's a huge
So if you're saying that,
it.
so if there's a man that has, but what if there's a man that already has kids? He just, you know what I mean? He's not looking to reproduce. There's someone that's in their 50s. They're like, I don't want to start kids.
You got to understand the percentages of like, and I get attraction is subjective for all of the people that are internet Nazis out there. But essentially, you just call them internet Nazis. Bro. Yeah, like I get it, but at the same time, like we gotta understand we're talking about dating alone, and there are the percentage of less attractive people versus averagely attractive people and unattractive people. There are very few attractive people that are just like the Halle Berrys and Zendayas and Megan Goods and
for women
of the world. Yes.
Or in general?
Yes, in general. They're also the beautiful men, attractive men. Yeah. The percentage of men over 6 foot alone, which is a big attraction for most women, is very low. So again, attractive people are not just walking around everywhere.
Right, for man or woman.
Right, exactly. Okay. So what I'm stating to you is that for women, as they age, and just like men, we tend to become physically less attractive if we don't take care of ourselves.
If we don't take care of ourselves.
Most people don't take care of themselves.
Okay.
So hear me out. So yeah, if I'm 40 years old and there's this 40-year-old that's out there, or 50-year-old that's out there, she got her body right. I got kids already. Yeah, that's cool. But that's also a thing is if I'm 40 and I have the capability of finding a woman that is I enjoy you. I enjoy your youth. I enjoy your body. I enjoy everything. Like your personality, great. But if I had the choice of like if I was single and I was on the dating market, this woman got to be fired for me to be like, okay, like, yeah, or like, unfortunately, we did off of looks.
We both are on the same page. We agree with that. But if me and you weren't dating, you didn't know anything about me, for the most part, you probably couldn't tell if I was my age versus me and a 22-year-old could probably be close to each other and you wouldn't really know who's 22.
But you got to remember, you are a minority.
That's what I'm talking about. Yeah, we're talking about valuable.
Yes, so you being a minority.
That's why I said take valuable out of it.
Listen, but you're not, like, again, I feel like your debate stands for the minority group in the situation. But the majority of the time, men are not gonna be.
So you're just saying when it comes down to it,
just like when a woman's 40, if she's or 50, she's looking to date a 40 or 50-year-old, and she's not gonna be looking for somebody that's working at Family Dollar if she's 40 years old. She's gonna be like, I've been there and done that.
Right. So that's what I'm saying. There's a lot. Most of the time, when it comes to dating, it's finances and attraction that people are looking at. And the dating market probably wouldn't be so. Well, I mean,
it's a very shallow way to look at it.
What I hear from my friends, the dating market is trash, and it doesn't necessarily go from attraction and finances to. I mean, so to wrap up the valuable part. I don't believe you become more valuable the older you get. I think that is subjective to whoever. It really just depends on the person, a man or woman. The more you take care of yourself, the more goals you have, the more achievements you have under your belt. That's what makes you valuable. It doesn't matter if you're a woman or man the older you get. I think we can go ahead and debunk that and leave that at that part.
You wouldn't be debunking it by saying it. Just because it makes...
I feel like I can't.
But get your feelings. I understand it. But just like being like, I get the word makes you feel a certain way, but to be honest,
it's the valuable part that I don't understand. Yes, it does. Because even we're saying the same thing, so you agree with me.
Because even women that are younger than us date men that are older than us that are more established.
Right.
Why? Hold on, wait. But it was one thing that you said. Typically, women look for a man that can provide and protect their family. It doesn't really matter how much you make. It's not about a number. It's about how much are you. And then also there are some women that want a lifestyle as well.
Yeah.
Like few vacations, some want a lot of vacations. That's all fine and dandy. A man in his 40s is typically going to be a lot better at that. And be a lot calmer and a lot level-headed.
But it also depends on the person, because there's a lot of 40-year-olds we know that cannot do that.
Right, but those are still the minority of the group. We're talking about the majority.
So we're talking about people in general, because they didn't say the majority of men, the majority of women. They just said men and women, and that's what I'm focusing on.